What's good, y'all? And welcome to Come On In and Get Some with the Bishop, where we can have some conversation, a few laughs, and ease your mind. Everybody just calm down, The Bishop's here. And I want to thank you for coming to see episode 3 of Come On In and Get Some with the Bishop. I just want to thank everybody for such wonderful support, man. You guys have just been incredible. And thank you for all the well wishes and the good words. And I thank you. I'm up to 30 subscribers. Can you believe it? Already. That's not a lot to other people, but it's a lot to me. And I thank each and every one of you. And tell the word, spread the word. Okay? Tell everybody about it. While you're thinking about it, like the video because it helps it grow. Share and subscribe. Okay? Because I wanted to get big like my friend, Skywalker the Jedi. I want to congratulate him on reaching 1,000 subscribers. It couldn't happen to a better guy, man. Okay? Now, you know what we got to do. We got to style up old girl right here, the timer. And there she go. Now, big up to Seal Nation. Big up to the Syndicate Network. And big up to the Cool Table. All my guys. Skywalker the Jedi, if you don't know who he is, he's the leader of the movement that I'm in. It's called the Cell Movement. It's where we want WB, Warner Brothers, to sell the rights, or lease the rights, to Zack Snyder's Justice League characters over to Netflix, so that Zack Snyder can continue and finish his arc that he wanted to do that Warner Brothers screwed him out of. Period. So that's what we started, and Sky, along with Leon of the New Geeks, they started up this hashtag movement. Hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix, which is hashtag sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix. And the other hashtag is hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix, because we want this man to continue his story arc. He's one of the best that ever did it. Okay, and I've got to see my Wonder Woman again. All right, so I do believe I left off telling you about church. My friend Tasha, she's one of our church members, and she's one of my good friends, one of my best friends. And how I started in church, how I got in church, me and my cousin Troy, God rest her soul, we were at Walmart at night because, it wasn't that many people there, so we wanted to go there then. And then we were in the checkout line, and there was this older gentleman, well-built, gray hair, and he's just looking at us. And I'm telling my cousin, like, why is he looking at us? What does this old man want? And so he said, how you doing? I'm like, I'm fine. He was like, I'll be right over. I'm like, why is he coming over here? Can you tell me that? But anyway, so he came over and he introduced himself. He said, hi, my name is Bishop Willie Felton. And God told me to tell you it's time to come home. Now, for those of you who have seen the last episode of Come On In and Get Some with the Bishop, I told you I had a dream. And God told me in the dream that it was time for me to come home. So this, to me, was confirmation. See, this is just one of the things that I know that God is real. Because, see, all this is no coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidences. I'm sorry. Okay. So we exchanged numbers, and I didn't talk to him for about 2 weeks. But after that, I got in contact with him, and we were going to church ever since. He didn't have his own church at the time. We were going to another church. And in between the time that I got with him and between the time that and us having our own church, we visited a lot of interesting churches here in our fair city. I went to an African church with him. It was wonderful. There was more singing, dancing, and praising than there was preaching, but it was nice. It was nice. Everybody was friendly for the most part. And then we went to this one church one time. And one of the girls, well, one of the women in our church at the time, her name was Dottie. And we were sitting in the pews, right? And we were visiting this church. And they had a power outage. I don't know if the bill wasn't paid or something happened, but they had LED lanterns. Okay, didn't mind it. And then one of the preachers was talking about something about Jesus was the cousin of somebody. I'm looking at her and she looking at me and I'm like, that's not right. And so we just let it go. We sit up here trying not to giggle and stuff because he sounded like he was drunk, but I don't know what was going on. And in front of us, there was this older lady. And we were in. See, what I don't like is when people play with God. Stop playing with God, y'all. Stop calling his name for no reason. The name Jesus is not an expletive. Okay? And we're like, Jesus. No, don't do that. You wouldn't want nobody calling your name like that. But anyway, but I don't like people play with God. It was this one woman, right? And now the music was getting good. The choir was singing. The music was getting good. This is in the dark now. But, besides the lamps. Everything was getting good. This one lady in front of us. Now, if she got up, how you going to get, let me just ask this question. How you going to get up out the chair slowly, look around you, make sure there ain't no room, that you got plenty of room, and then you go to shout? How do you prepare to shout? If the Spirit of God falls upon you and you start to move, where does the planning come in? I mean, to actually get up slowly, fix your chair, and look around you on the floor to make sure you got enough room, and then go to joking. You know how the saints do. Now, I looked at my friend Dottie, and she looked at me, and we was cracking up. We was rolling. And I guess the lady's niece or somebody, she heard us, and she got real upset. They went to cussing us out now. Y'all ain't, and y'all, cause y'all be, and we were like, I was talking about. It was a mess though. It was that was a time. We went back a couple of more times to that church though. It was just, I don't know why, but I guess because my bishop, he was a good friends with the pastor of that church. And then, like I told you in one of my previous videos, there was a church where they took an offering, a large offering, went back in the back, came back out, and said they didn't meet their quota. And what do you mean you didn't meet your quota? We gave you what we had. I don't like churches like that. When it's all about money, Jesus, Yeshua, his given name, Yeshua, never, I mean, yeah, they took alms and tithes and stuff like that, but they didn't stand there with a $5 line, $10 line, $20 line, $100 line, all that. Like I said before, they don't do that. He didn't do that. That's why I don't get where all these modern churches get all this mess from. It's all about pomp and circumstance instead of the word, exactly what it's supposed to be about. Our Father, with charm. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me tell you about a visitor we had in our church. And I know a lot of my friends and family who know this story are laughing right now. We had a visitor in our church one day. It's at House of God Light of the World when I was with my bishop, Bishop Willie R. Felton, AA, BS, JD. I was on the pulpit, and let me set it up for you. I'm on the pulpit right here, Well, I'm not on the pulpit. I'm up in the pulpit. I'm at the seat. The podium's right next to me. The bishop's sitting down. His first lady sitting down. Across from me is our deaconess Valerie Tillman, who I just said hey to, and her husband Columbus, who was our band leader. On this side of me, we had lovely Jewel, one of our elder ladies in our church, who is a character, and me and her cannot sit together in church because I always get in trouble with the bishop because she is hilarious. She is just, listen, this is what happened. Now, my friend Tasha, I told you about, her and her kids were sitting in the pews. Everybody with me? All right, check it out. So we have a guest pastor come in to say, a few things. And, he made a lovely donation of tithes, That's fantastic. And when I tell you he was clean, when I tell you his suit was so sharp you could cut cheese with the sleeve of it. He was sharp, baby. It was every bit of a zoot suit from back in the days. Long coat, Stacey Adams, all that. Hair. I don't know what he was mixed with, or if it was a S curl. I don't know what it was, but it was fantastic. Okay. Now he gets up to say a prayer. We all stand. He proceeds to say this, and I quote, "Abba, Father, Chart in heaven, Hollywood be thy name." Yes, he said, "Hollywood be thy name." Now, mind you, I'm like this. Sister Jewel is standing right next to me. Now, the moment he says, "Hollywood be thy name," all I hear over here is, oh my, okay, oh. Now, I'm trying it took Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Moses, and Aaron, and a couple of more apostles to keep me from busting out laughing. Now, mind you, I still had my head down, but then I looked up, and I could still hear her over here talking, oh my, okay, all right. I look over in the pews. Tasha is gone. Her kids are gone. They fell out on all over the seats, all on the floor. I look back and look at my bishop. My bishop just looks at me and shook his head. The first lady was sitting next to him going like this. Valerie, my deaconess, my homegirl, standing on the other side of the room, would not look at me for nothing because she know, and I know, if she would have looked at me, it would have been over. We would have just lost it. Everybody in there heard it. And then he had the nerve to skip a whole line of the prayer and added something else into it. And we didn't know what it was. Then they went to singing a song that they obviously made up because he called his wife up. Now, she was decked out to the teeth, baby. Wig was laid. Face was beat. Dress was And she had lovely, shiny gold teeth. 2 of them on either side. And they just sang. Country. We, to this day, never heard that song. I'm not lying. We never heard that damn song. Oh man, that was hilarious. It was really, really funny. But I love my church, man. We had a good time, and I just want people to be able to have experiences like that, man. Because life is not all about the pain and the suffering that goes on. Yes, it happens. But you have to have some kind of release. You have to have some kind of distraction or some kind of faith. That's what gets me through is my faith. Listen, I done had 2 heart attacks. The first one I had I was in my 20s, and I didn't know I had one. Let me tell you how good God is. In my 20s, we went to New York. Me and my friends, and Joe, my whole crew, singing group and everything. We went to go to New York, and we was chilling. was doing good. But I noticed that every time if I walked to, and I used to walk, just because I'm big don't mean anything. You could ask all my friends. I used to walk from my house to cross town and back, going everywhere. But everything seemed like when we was in New York, every time I would walk too far or something, I would get like, it felt like gas up in my chest. And that's what made me stop drinking beer at the time, because we used to tear down beer, baby. Me and my crew, a we would get a case of Blue Bulls. Now, a case consists of 12 bottles. 12 bottles, 40 ounces of Blue Bull. And we get 2 of them. Okay. So I had stopped drinking beer because I thought it was like maybe the yeast in the beer was getting to me and whatever and everything. So eventually it went away. Okay. But in 2014, on the day after Christmas, which was my Aunt Ruthie, God rest her soul, birthday, for like maybe about a week or so, I was feeling this gas in my chest and stuff like that. And my brother Brad came over on a Friday. That's right, it was a Friday, and he had came to partake in some herbal refreshments with me, and mind your business, and so I was feeling crazy. I was feeling just like I had a gas ball in my chest. It wasn't like the Hollywood heart attacks and everything where you clutching your arm and you doing all that. No, it wasn't none of that. I just felt like I had gas in my chest. So after we partook, I told Brad, I said, well, listen, just run me by the emergency. Maybe they'll give me some Prilosec and send me on home or something. So I get to the emergency, and they get me in there, and I'm I just got a little gas. I feel like I got loads of gas. I'm sitting there making the nurse laugh and stuff. We giggling and talking junk. She taking my EKG. And then all of a sudden she comes back. I have to wheel you into the operating room. I said, where? She said, I said, well, what's wrong? She was like, I don't know. So she wheels me over into the operating place, and it's like 4 doctors standing up there. So I get up out the wheelchair and I'm like, okay, what's going on? They said, Mr. Williams, how you doing? How you feeling? I said, I'm feeling fine. I just got a little gas in my chest. They said, well, you're having a heart attack. I said, I'm having a what now? They said, you're having a heart attack. I said, I am. Are you sure? It was like, yes. And we're going to have to go in. Now, all I know about anything with surgery and everything was what I saw on TV. When I heard go in, I'm thinking crack the chest open, crack all this open, and go in. They were like, no, Mr. Williams, no, we don't have to do that. We're just going to put a stent in your vein, because one of my veins was, clogged. And one of your arteries, I think it was. And we're going to have to put a stent in it. We're going to have to go through your wrist, in the vein in your wrist, and everything will be fine. I'm like, okay, all right. So I called my bishop just to let him know. I said, Bishop, they're telling me I got a heart attack. I had a heart attack. I'm in such and such a hospital. I'm doing such and such of this. Check on me. Keep up. Okay, like that. I was slightly panicking, but for some reason, honestly, y'all, I didn't have fear. I was anxious, a little worried, but I wasn't. It wasn't fear. I didn't feel like I was on my way out. And so they took me to the operating room. I was awake the entire time. They gave me a happy pill. I started singing gospels on the table. My arm is over here. They're going they're pushing the thing. They said, you're going to feel a little pressure. I was like, okay, if it gets too much, let us know. I was like, okay. And so while they doing all that, I'm singing gospels. God has smiled on me. He has set me free. Oh, I'm doing all this, right? And the nurse, she turned around. She was like, man, you got a beautiful voice. I said, now by this time, I was like 3 shades in the wind. So I was like, thank you, sugar. And she started rolling. And I did too. And then before you know it, it was like, okay, we're done. We're going to have to wheel you up to your room now and make sure you don't lift so much of weight, and everything. And we'll come and check on you. So they wheeled me up to. I got there that Friday. They wheeled me up to the room. They did the procedure and wheeled me to the room. I was a little weak, but I felt better. And that Saturday, all my church came. All the church came. Everybody in the church, he came with the guitar. And Columbus came with his guitar, and they, we sang gospels and stuff. And they, cheered me up and made me feel better. The next day, Sunday, I was out of there, baby. I was out of there. My cousin Troy, God rest his soul, he came to pick me up. And he said, He said, you ready to go home? I said, take me by the church, because I knew they was having service. He's like, child, you just got out of the hospital. You sure you want to do that? I said, just for that reason, God just brought me through something, and I've got to go thank him in his house. Period. Okay? Because I didn't have to walk up out that hospital, but I did. I didn't have to be in comfort, but I was. I had a heart attack. Okay? Can anybody feel me out there with that? Okay? So when you have situations like that and you see how the God of all creation hooks you up, you got to go give it back to him. So I went there, and as soon as I opened up the doors of the church, I opened up the doors of the church. My deaconess, my Valerie, she almost fell off her seat. Everybody was like, oh my God. Because they just saw me yesterday in there hooked up with IVs and carrying on. And here I am strolling up in the church looking cute. Yes, I was. And so I went and I sat on the pulpit, and we had church. We had church. I couldn't praise like I wanted to because I was still weak, but I was praising and thanking him. And I still thank him to this day because he didn't have to do that for me. And I praise him for that. So that's one of the reasons why I know that he's real and why I follow him and why I'm going to keep telling y'all about him. And I hope that y'all stick with me and learn some things and conversate with me. Come on, leave some comments in below, and tell me how you think, what you think. And, let me know if I'm doing good or give me some suggestions. I love you guys. I love all you guys. Hi, Mama Bear. She's one of my homegirls. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Juicy woman, too. She juicy. She ain't fat. She juicy. And she lives in Canada. I love her. And she's up there with her daughter. God bless you guys. Hope you're doing well. All my friends, Send Havoc, all you guys that I'll be in the chat with and stuff. Y'all some good people. And they're the reason from all of this going on with our movement. They're the ones that inspired me to really, like Skywalker the Jedi I was telling you about earlier. He inspired me to really go ahead and do these things that I'm doing, that start up this YouTube channel, because he basically did what I'm doing, starting it with his phone. Yes, this is my phone. And excuse me, I'm just thankful for that, man, because this is fun. This is so much fun talking to you guys and having you guys listen to my story, because I talk. Yeah, I talk. But I tell some good stuff, and I tell the truth. I tell the truth. And hopefully soon you might get a little surprise from me and another one of our guys, the good Austin. I'm not saying nothing, Austin. I'm just saying. I just had to throw that out there real quick. Okay. He's a wonderful guy. He's another guy in the movement, the Flash of our movement. He's the Barry Allen of our movement. And he's just incredible. Young guy. Really incredible. He does so much for the movement. Okay. So go check his channel out too. He has his own channel. Excuse me. It's called The Good Austin. Okay. Tell him Dennis sent you. The Bishop sent you. Yeah, guys, it's so fun to sit here and talk to you guys. Let's see what else I could tell you about church. Oh, there's so many things. There's so many churches that we have been to. We were sharing a church at one time, with this pastor. We were sharing the building itself, and then we had came together to do joint. We would come to their services, they would come to our services, and vice versa. All that. Until people started getting in that pastor's head, because it was his church first, but he allowed us to come in to share our church with his, because the church we were in before, we had lost that building. It was just ridiculous. It's a long story, but so he allowed us to come in there and use the facilities with him, and worship and stuff with him, until people started getting in his head. Talk about something. Oh, well, the bishop, he's trying to take over your church. Oh, well, he's trying to steal all your parishioners away from you. And he's trying to do this and he's trying to do that. So one day we was having a service. Me and Bishop, we were on the pulpit. And the pastor, he was preaching and everything. And he had the nerve. And now see, by us being there, I'm not saying that we all that, but we were a vibe. Okay, we were a gospel vibe. Okay, I was a choir director and a minister, and I was holding them. My choir, they used to request my choir, to come and perform. Yes, they did. But he was up there preaching, and he wanted to remind everybody kindly that he was the angel of this church. The only angel of this church. And see, angels, the word angel means messenger. So he's trying to say that he's the only one. I looked at Bishop. Bishop looked at me. We waited till the end of the service. He picked up his briefcase. I picked up mine. All of our people rose at the same time. And we all left that church. And we never went back. You're the angel of this church? Have at it. That's not godly. Bye-bye. And see, I don't like preachers like that could be so easily swayed. I know he's human. I know he's a man, but come on now. You're all supposed to be anointed. But see, that's how you can tell when people are not anointed. Okay? A tree is known by the fruit that it bears. Okay, and if all the fruit that's falling off of them limbs is rotten, where do you think it's coming from? The root. I like the way I said that. The root. I'm crazy, y'all. I'm silly. Anyways, but we got to get together. That's why I'm not in the church now, because I don't have the patience at 53 years old to put up with people's phoniness. I don't like phony people. I don't like liars. Why do you have to lie? It's ridiculous. Okay, why must you lie? If you lie, that means I can't trust you. And if I can't trust you, there's no reason for you to be around me. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. But I can't fool with you because you're a liar. And I can't trust you. Y'all know what that means. Baby girl hollering up. We shut up. I'm talking to. Quiet. Hush. Well, doggone it. I was just about to get into it even more. But I want to thank y'all once again for coming and check out this third episode of Come On In and Get Some with the Bishop. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I hope I'm not just rambling on and making you bored or anything. I'm just trying to let you know who I am, what I've been through. And it's going to get better. I've got some eyes on some things that are going to make me enhance my videos and stuff. And I'm going to be doing interviews with some of my friends. And hopefully eventually I'll get to streaming. I'm going to look into trying to get to streaming because I'm not good at streaming right now. Yeah. But anyways, I love you guys. Like, share, and subscribe this video. Okay? It don't hurt to press the like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me how you like it. Tell me how pretty I was. Because you know I am. Look at me. And in the words of Little Richard, being pretty never bothered me. But you guys be good and be peaceful and love each other. Be a help to somebody. All right? And I will see you guys again on Wednesday. All right? That's what I forgot to tell you. I love you. And ain't nothing that you can do about it.